Hello, my YouTube friends! I don't think it's a big secret that my least favorite part of the YouTube creation process is editing. I hate it. But there is a free editing tool that makes me hate it just a little bit less, or maybe even a lot less. That tool is CapCut. Today, I want to show you how to create an awesome high-quality video from your gaming footage using the free CapCut editing tools. So you know what? Let's get to it! CapCut has no catches, no gimmicks, no stupid ads that you have to watch to use it. It's totally free to download on your Mac or Windows computer. And the download and install are super easy. You just click the link in the description below and install it like any other application. So go get it on your machine so you can follow along. That is the best way to learn. I'll wait. Just go get it. You got it? Man, you are fast. I told you the install was easy. Let's go. Now, once you get it installed, you can log in if you want, but even that is totally optional. You don't have to do a single thing. You can now start using it. But before we use CapCut, we're gonna need some actual footage. Now remember that this is going to be used as a video, so we're gonna record it a bit different than we might for a live stream. I have game footage and my mic and game audio recording in OBS. However, I use my Sony camera to record my face cam and microphone directly onto the SIM card. Now, if you're using a webcam, you can't really do this. So this is what I would do in that case. I would use the OBS plugin Source Record. This plugin allows you to create two separate recordings. One of the game and the audio for the game, and one for the camera and the camera audio. Now put your mic in the recording for the game as well, and it's going to become clear why when we get to the editing. This type of recording is going to give you the most varied options when you're doing an edit, and maintain high quality from the camera and the video game footage. Now you may want to seek out other clips that you can use as B-roll that are related to the gameplay. Some games have alternative views that you can record, and there's also establishing clips where you can do flyovers for maps and things like that. There are all sorts of creative B-roll clips that you can put in there. Really, the only limit is your imagination. Now that we have all that, it's time to jump into our edit. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and create a project, and you can go up here at the top and name it whatever you want. So let's just call this game vid. And there we go. And what we're going to do is bring up our folder, and we have our face camera and our game footage. We'll just drag that in there. And you'd also drag in any sort of B-roll or anything like that that you're going to use. But for now, we'll start with these. I'll drag my game footage down here, lay it on top, and since we had them both selected, you can see it drug them both in there. What I'm going to do is take my face cam footage and just drag it right on top like that, and we're going to go ahead and just drag this out like that, and we're going to select both of them. We're going to go ahead and right click, and we're going to sync the video and audio. So this is going to monitor both the clips and sync up the audio. This is why we put our microphone in both clips. So now, when we play them, they should be synced up. Down that way. So there we go. So now we can actually just take our face cam footage and reduce the audio. And everything is going to be lined up. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and scale my footage right here. And we'll put our face cam somewhere on the screen that's kind of out of the way, not going to be annoying. And there we go. Then I'm going to go ahead and just select both these clips. We're going to right click and we're going to group the clips. So now we've got it grouped. So when we make cuts, we're going to be able to keep all of our stuff together. We don't have to worry about the audio getting unsynced or anything like that. So now anything that we do with one, it's going to do it with both. And you can see that even though this is grouped, we can select one clip or the other clip by double clicking, which of course is what this says right here. Now once we get both of our cameras set up the way we want them, we can modify the way that either of these look if we just select one or the other. So let's say that we don't like how our camera looks. Well, we can double click on our camera and we can go into adjustments over here, and we can adjust our coloring and that sort of stuff. So adjust is selected, And we can mess around with the temperature, temp, saturation, exposure, contrast, highlights, and shadows of this camera right here. So we'll just kind of zoom it in so you can get a little bit of a look at what we're talking about. If we want this to have a cooler temperature, we can do that. We can adjust the tint to make our coloring look just that much better. We can make it a little bit warmer, and we can really saturate the colors to make it easier for it to be picked out or whatever. I don't really like to mess around too much with that. We can darken it up by lowering our exposure. We can up the contrast just a little bit, which I kind of always like to do. It makes me pop off the background a little bit more. We can highlight some shadows, so we can kind of darken up our background. These are the kind of things that you can do to make it look a little different. We can adjust the sharpness, clarity, vignette, all that sort of stuff. And then we can save it as a preset, or we can apply it to all, which is going to apply it not just to this camera one, but it will also apply it to our game footage, which definitely isn't what we want. So we've kind of got that set up right there. So I'm going to go ahead and select the bottom one, and we're going to go through and see if we can find something, in this one. And now we can kind of make the temperature cooler if we want. We can adjust the tint, the exposure, all that kind of stuff. I always kind of like to bump up the contrast just a little bit for games. Maybe adjust the shadowing a little bit. You can kind of sharpen this stuff. I think that can make it look pretty cool. If you look in the hands here, you can see a little bit of a sharper thing going on there. But you really want to be careful. You don't want it to look fake. You don't want people to be saying, hey, that doesn't look like mine. You can also add vignette, which just adds a darker kind of tone around the end. But when you do that, you can kind of move the focus to the center of the screen. And I think that's useful if you want to do specific clips like that, but maybe not necessarily the whole thing. So that's the adjustments that you can make on your clips directly to color match them, color grade them, make them look exactly how you want. You can actually use keyframes to move these color gradings, so you can have some clips look totally different than others, or even adjust the color. And that could be a really fun editing trick. If you just have one clip and you want to kind of tint it red for effect, you can do that. It's all totally free. Now you can see that anything marked with the Pro right here is going to be paid for. Now I can also adjust the shape of my camera right here. So I can select that, and we can go into mask, and I could select any one of the special masks down here. They're free. Usually what I'm going to do is something like the rectangle, and we'll just kind of do that. I can move it down, and there we go. So now we have kind of more of what we would be looking for. Once we get the mask we want, we're all set. We can click off, we can click back on, and then I can move this around like that. And there we go. So now we have like a tighter camera angle. So now what I'm going to go through and do is just create cuts in the clips that we need to, so we can go and find interesting aspects of this. And when we find something we want to clip, we just select both clips. We go into our little cutting tool, and we make sure that we just line them up and cut them. Here's where I epically destroy that rabbit. We definitely want to keep that in there. We have this cut like this. He's toast. Maybe we want to isolate that. So what I'm going to do is kind of zoom in our timeline right here. Double click to select the top one here. And then I'm going to put a cut here. And we're going to just go ahead and scale this up. And so now we've got he's toast. And there we go. Could probably cut some of the little tail out of there, all that kind of stuff, really clean it up. But that's kind of what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to go through the footage, find places where you want to accentuate your face cam, do all that sort of stuff. And once we get to that point, we can add stuff with B-roll and use some of the other effects. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll jump back in and we'll get to other accents. Alright, so now we've got this thing all kind of sliced up so it's in the kind of clips we want to use. One of the things I like to do is maybe add an intro. So what I'm going to do is go in here, and I'm going to drag an intro in here, and we'll just pull this down here, it'll pop it in the beginning. You guys have all seen my standard intro. What I'm going to do in this case is just cut here and then delete this. So what we have is this. Now I get lots of people asking about my intro, so I'm going to show you how I do it. But I'm just going to tell you, I had to pay for Pro because, of course, they moved one of the things that was free before into Pro. So all I have to do, and let's zoom in on this section, and I cut this up. So I'll cut this and then leave that. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and just drag this up like that, and I'm going to lower the volumes down on both of these. And then I'm going to select this. I'm going to remove the background, again, part of the Pro Tools, but I just want to show you guys this because I get so many people asking about how I do the intro, and it's ridiculously easy. Then I'm going to go into effects, and I'm just going to go blur, right? And we're going to grab a blur. We're going to stick it right on this clip. Boom. So now we can see that I'm blurred out. Then what we want to do is I'm going to go smoke, right? And the blur tool, the smoke tool, totally free. Now I'm gonna go ahead and stick it right here. Now you might have a situation where you got to turn your free layers on. And what I mean by that is if we just click anywhere so no clips are selected, you could see that arrange layers is on and all this stuff. But we can modify this in here and just make sure that the arrange layers is on, and that'll allow you to put these in between different ones. So basically this video right here is over top of the smoke, so you can see the smoke kind of coming from behind me, right? And then what I'm going to do is just drag fire right here and boom, and let me show you what that one does. If we go over here, you can see it creates the fire that's behind me, and I'm going to use some keyframes. So we're going to go to about the center of the clip. I'm going to keyframe the atmosphere there. We're going to go down to the end of the clip and we're going to lower it. And so that's basically what you get with the whole effect that I do at the beginning of every video. The one thing that's missing is the audio. To do the audio, I have a little branding folder right here with common assets. So I'm going to go and select import, and you should probably create one of these for your edits. I'm just going to drag common assets in there, and I'm going to go ahead and double click on it, and I can just go down here and select my intro whoosh right here. And so I'm going to just drag it over top of this. I'm going to adjust this volume down and we'll crop this up. I'd probably clip this up so it's not quite as long, but hello my YouTube. There we go. So now anyone who asks, how do I do my intro? Now you know. I'm sorry that this is a pro effect. The removal background didn't used to be in CapCut, but they moved it to a pro effect. So if you want to remove the background, well, now you kind of have to use it. There actually is a way to do it without doing that. So if we go into the remove background, you could go to the custom removal and you can cut around. You can erase what you want to erase and then apply it. But that's all manual, and who really wants to do that? Especially when the auto removal tool works so well. Now the other nice thing about having tools like this common assets tool is that I have a common transition that's branded that I can just stick in here anywhere I want. So I can go ahead and put that right there. And then here's how that's going to look. Hello my YouTube friends. And there we go. So now that just brings us right in there. But there are hundreds of transitions that are literally built right in, and they're totally free. So let's go find another location where we might have a transition that we want to use. We have a transition right here we could possibly use. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go, and you can see the ones marked Pro. So there's plenty that aren't. And we'll just stick it right here. And let's see how that looks. He's toast. There we go. Now we can adjust the length of this by selecting it, going up here and changing the duration and all that kind of stuff. So we can make it smaller or bigger. He's toast. Now I think that generally looks better when it's longer. There we go. We've got that. What if we wanted to add a sound effect to it? We can just click up here, go to audio and sound effects. And we can look for some sound effects that we might like. You just select it, it'll play it. So there we go. We could just drag this down there like that. We can clip it up. We can adjust the volume right here or right here. So you can adjust the volume right here. So maybe we go -10 or so. And now you'll see what that looks like. He's toast. There we go. And do we want to do another one right here? Well, maybe. It's pretty abrupt. It just goes right from my face to that. So what we could do is go back into transitions and pick another one. Let's try this rotate one right here. That looks pretty long. He's toast. There we go. I kind of like that. Now we can take this and we can hold down the Alt key and just drag it out, and it'll give us another instance of it. So now we've got two whooshes. And there we go. So now we've created transitions with sound effects in a couple of seconds. Those are all free transitions. Any one of the ones that don't say Pro are totally free. And of course the audio stuff that I showed you, totally free. What if we wanted to add text? All right, so we could do that too. We can go into our text area here. We've got effects that we can use. You see a lot of these effects are not charged for it. There's some pro ones in here, but there are a heck of a lot that are not. So we can just kind of select one and it'll show you what the default text looks like. There we go. I kind of like this one, so we're gonna go and we're gonna place it right here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up here and let's just do it normal. All right, so we've got our text here, but if we just want it to be uppercase, we can go down here to the case and boom, there we go. We could separate this out too if we wanted to, but we don't have to. So now when we go like this, he's toast. All right, so you see how that works. What if we wanted to add some animation to this, to our text? Well, we can do that. We'll just click animation right up here, and you're gonna see busloads of free ones here come up. Anything that doesn't say Pro. There's more than enough cool ones. Believe me, you don't need to have Pro to get cool ones. So, you know, this shows you what that's gonna look like. So, he's toast. Maybe we don't want it taking quite so long, so we can just adjust it down like this. So it's quick 1 second. He's toast. And we can do one on the way out as well. So we just go to out and we can select whatever one we want. Maybe that one. Toast. And we'll shorten that up a little bit. There we go. And let's see what that looks like. He's toast. There you go. So now we've got sound effects, we've got transitions. I mean, we overdid this. I'm not sure I would probably add all these transitions and whooshies and everything else on one spot, but I want to show you how to do it and let you know that it's free. Let's say we wanted to split this up. Let's find another section where I did something like that in the video. All right, so let me show you how this would work. All we have to do is double click on here and we've got our thing. We're going to go to mask and we're just going to remove the mask for this clip. And then we're going to embiggen it so it takes up the whole screen like that. And there we go. So now we've got that, and let's say we wanted to add text. I like that other text that we used, so we're just going to add it here. And we'll go with, I don't know how it's spelled, but that's going to be close enough for a friggin' town this size. So there we go. We can make it big. We're going to, no. There we go. I don't need the T to be big here. So there we go. So we got that. And what I'm going to do is just hold down the Alt key and boom. And we're going to go and put this there and we'll go with this. All right. So now we've kind of got this played out. We'll just try to line it up with what we say here. Let's see how that goes. Aren't they just trying to execute me? So you could see how easy something like that is to do. And what we can do is we can shorten this up to about here. You just kind of line them all up so they all go out at the same time. All right, so you've got that. Now we could select them all and we can go to the animation thing and we can do an out animation for all of them. So maybe glitch. Sure. There we go. Weren't they just trying to execute me? Sure. Maybe we want to put some noise to the glitch. And I have like a little data thing here that I can use. You can also, of course, go into the audio piece and get that. So I'm going to just slap it there. It automatically puts it down here. And we'll just make it a little smaller. And let's see what that looks like now. Weren't they just trying to execute me? Sure, I understand. There we go. Now you get how you can add text just like that. Let me show you how to add a couple of more of these things. So let's say you have gone out and done what I did, and you've got your little branding, common assets thing. You can drag in some different things. So I have some subscribe buttons or something like that. I can just drag this in over top anywhere I want, drop it, and there we go. So now that little subscribe button is going to show up. We can see it right there. It's that simple. You can get assets like that in all kinds of different places, or you can create them by yourself for free. All right, so once you have everything all laid out the way you want it, you're going to go up to export, and you can select how you want your video to be exported. So you've got the name of your video. You just put it in there where you want it to actually go. So you just select that location. Let's see. So we can select our resolution. I'm doing mine in 4K. We've got the bit rate. I always use recommended. It seems to be pretty good. Codec that you want to use. The format for the video, the frame rate that you want for your video. You could select whatever you want, all the way up to 60 frames per second. Now I think it's kind of nice if we scroll down here, we can have it check for copyright. Most of the stuff that you can get right here on CapCut is going to give you copyright free stuff, but you can check it just in case. If you got something off the internet or something that you're using, it will check it to prevent any problems from coming up. Now you see, pro benefit, one item. That is because I showed you how I do my intro, but I wanted to show it to you. So there we go. Now all we have to do is click export. Takes a couple seconds to export it. Once it does, it annoyingly comes up and starts to play the video for you right away.
Hello, my YouTube
And there you
friends.
go. You could pause it. It will actually generate a full up and down as well if you want that. And of course, that's part of the Pro Tool as well. Now we have our video file. We're ready to go. Now, I work really hard to try to create content that I think you're going to enjoy. Sometimes I hit, and sometimes I miss, but it's really hard to know for sure. And that's where you can really help me out. If you're liking this video, do me a favor and leave me a thumbs up. If it's not your cup of tea, it's perfectly fine to leave it a thumbs down. If every single person watching this video right now leaves a thumbs up or a thumbs down, I'm definitely gonna know whether this is the kind of video or content that you want to see going forward. So thumbs up, thumbs down right now. Thank you very much. Let's get back to the video. All right, let's take a look at some key moments of this edit so you can see what it looks like. Hello, my YouTube friends. There's a bunny. Ha ha ha. He's toast. Rabbit's leg. Hey, you know what? We can maybe get a lucky rabbit's foot from that. Who knows? Oh, there's a dude. Hey, dude.
Listen, you should go to Solitude and join up with the Imperial Legion.
Weren't they just trying to execute me?
Sure, I understand. It's not easy to go from being executed by the Legion one day to joining up the next.
Yeah,
But I
you
think you'll see that the Legion is Skyrim.
Riverwood is defenseless. We need to get
Dude,
word to
Trey's
Jarl
just
Balgruuf in
bouncing
Whiterun to
around.
Send whatever soldiers he
Look
can.
at it. Now it's giving him the rub
Do
down.
that for me. I'll
What?
be in your debt.
Yeah. I mean, that conversation's just getting boring. Now you tell me, what do you think of the results that we got in CapCut? Let me know down below in the comments. Also, are there features that you love that I missed? Well, you know what? Bleep bloop it down below. If you want to see me cover all of the basic features in CapCut, you can check this video out. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks to help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Fire Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.